and welcome back to Game Overcast. My name is David Kalin. I am the Game Over CEO, and thank you for watching our show. Thanks for coming back. This is episode 7, I believe. I think episode 7. That sounds right. So thanks for watching, sticking with us, and sharing and commenting on the show. We really appreciate that. Also, I wanted to, just real briefly in the intro here, follow up on something from some of the previous shows. I think early on, somebody had asked on the YouTube channel, like, well, where's Tien? Where's that guy? And so we had that guy on the show, Tien, and he's awesome. He's still with us and everything. And we had a great interview with him. Checked out his tattoos, talked about work and his favorite games, and it was awesome. And in that interview, he was talking about his hairstyle, which always looks awesome, but sometimes it looks even more awesome. So you may not even know how awesome his hair can look. But so we've had requests for the pictures. And so Tien Phan has been gracious enough to give us pictures. And so now we're going to share with you a quick montage of Tien Phan photo shoot over the years of video game, anime, character cosplay. So enjoy. Wow. Now, if you're like me, you're thinking, man, that guy should have been sexiest man alive. But apparently Paul Rudd is this year. So who knew? But good news for you other like average looking 50-ish white males. There's a chance. There's still a chance for you. But anyway, we love Paul Rudd and we love Tien Phan, so we wish them both well. So anyway, let's get on with the show. Let's go to level 1 and talk about current events. Hello and welcome back. This is level 1, our current events section. So what's going on lately in the world of video gaming or retro gaming specifically? In the national news, the recent reports show. I don't know. I heard this recently, that apparently we all know Dune, the remake movie, just came out a few weeks ago. Star Timothée Chalamet, huge cover boy. He should have been sexiest man alive too. But he's super popular. Star of that Dune movie. Apparently, he started out as a YouTuber making modded Xbox controllers. Who knew? I didn't. A lot of people didn't, apparently. But he had a channel called Modded Controller 360. He made 3 videos of him like custom painting 360 controllers and sold them. And he said he sold 3 of them and made about $10 each. And so, I assume he makes a little more money now. So, yeah. So he's moved up in the world. But interesting that, YouTubers, sometimes you start small and you never know where you might end up. So that was pretty interesting read. Also, the Sega and Microsoft alliance that we talked about last week on the show. I saw a post from Sega recently that they're talking about spending billions of dollars on new game development. Which I don't think they really have billions of dollars, but maybe that's why they're kind of working with Microsoft together, and the two of them combined are going to spend billions of dollars. But apparently they're looking to pursue acquisitions and new IP, and leveraging their current IP over, including the alliance with stop moving. Including the alliance with Microsoft, that they're going to have a definite partnership as far as the Xbox Game Pass and have Sega games on there. But even beyond that, they're looking at acquisitions and all kinds of new stuff and spending billions of dollars. And it seems like that the government's talking about spending trillions of dollars lately. So I guess billions doesn't seem like that much, but billions is a lot. That's a lot of money. I mean, games take millions of dollars to make, but billions of dollars. Billions? That's a lot of money. So Yeah, so pretty exciting news that hopefully there'll be a lot of cool new Sega stuff coming out. It may only be available on Xbox, but at least there's cool stuff in the pipeline. In more retro-specific news, Sega platformer Alex Kidd celebrates his birthday this month. He's 35 years old, so I guess he's not Alex Kidd anymore, more like Alex Mann. Alex Adult, I guess I should say. Yeah, so he's all grown up and still making games, though. There's a remake that came out earlier this year in July to the modern and digital gaming platforms. So definitely check that out. Alex Kidd was one of the classics, early 80s platform star that's been in Sega's life, over the decades. Always there, kind of in Mario's shadow, but he's there, and the games are definitely worth a play, so check them out. Also, there's some news that there's a new Christmas movie coming out called 8-Bit Christmas with Neil Patrick Harris about his kind of reminiscing of his childhood experience pursuing the goal everybody had in the 80s, which was owning a Nintendo NES. And, they went from the video game crash of the early 80s, and then when Nintendo finally kind of burst onto the scene and really started picking up steam, it went from nobody wanted gaming to it was such a mad rush to find these things. And they were so popular that it was just flying off the store shelves. And so looks like a fun movie. And, anytime there's a holiday movie, Neil Patrick Harris is always great. And, about Nintendo NES. I mean, who can not love a movie about Nintendo NES? Come on. So anyway, this Christmas on HBO Max. So check that out. It actually comes out, I think, late November, but good just in time for Christmas. That wraps up all the news segments that I have for today. So let's go on to level 2 and talk about company events for Game Over Video Games. In-store events are coming up probably this weekend. If you're watching the show pretty close to the time it comes out, November 13th, Saturday is our Super Retro Challenge at one store in each market that we're in. So in the store in Selma, Texas, near San Antonio, the South Austin store on South Lamar, the Arlington store in the Dallas area, and the Houston store on 1960 on the northwest side. Those all 4 locations will be having tournaments Saturday, November 13th. They're free, they're fun. You should go meet other, friends in the neighborhood and, play some games with us. There's prizes to win, no cost to enter. It'll be a lot of fun. The next one is going to be Saturday, December 11th. That'll be the last tournament of the year at Game Over stores at all those same locations. Plus also the tournaments are back on in Washington again in the Bellevue store and the Crossroads Shopping Center. So check that one out too. And let's see, you can check the individual store Facebook pages for the details on which games and, what time to get there and sign up information and all that. So check your local Game Over store Facebook page for info on that. All right, moving on to Game Over sales. Everybody likes a sale, and we do them every week. So that works out well, doesn't it? So the sale going on this upcoming week is November 12th through 18th, handheld game sale. This is on all used or loose cartridge handheld games for Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Game Gear. That's available in our retail stores and online. On the web store, you can use the code RETRO20. RETO20 to save that discount there. So 20% off on those. Also, this month being November and, thinking of Black Friday and big sales, we're doing mini Black Friday sales every Friday. So probably today, when you're watching the podcast, if you watch it when it first comes out, the first one is the November 12th sale, which is Friday only. That's going to be PSP and UMD movies, 30% off. That's in stores only, not available online. Then the next one will be November 19th. That Friday is going to be Xbox 360. So 30% off used games and used games and used accessories for Xbox 360 on Friday the 19th. That's also in stores only, so not available online. So check those out in your local Game Over stores. And also just a little programming note, I guess, that next week, I'm actually out of town all week. Sorry. So we're not going to be able to do a podcast next week. But the following week is Thanksgiving. So we're going to not do one on Thursday that week either for obvious reasons. So what we're going to do is kind of combine the two and do an episode earlier next week that'll probably come out early on Wednesday, the 24th, I think. Yeah, 24th. So the Wednesday right before Thanksgiving will be the next podcast. So I'm sorry you're going to have to wait a week and a half or almost 2 weeks, but sometimes travel obligations come first. So anyway, so we'll have the next show then. But look forward to that one because right before Thanksgiving, we're going to have Actually, today on the show, we're going to go into this mess that we showed last week, the Super Nintendo, and start trying to figure that out and see if it works and see if we can fix it or replace the shell on it. And we'll finish that up next week. But plus, next week, we'll be talking about the Black Friday sales going on at Game Over. So that's what we'll be announcing. And I'm sorry I said next week, but I mean the following week. Right before Thanksgiving, we'll be doing the Black Friday sales announcement. So you can go into the Thanksgiving break knowing what's going to be on sale at Game Over stores that weekend, and you can kind of plan your shopping attack to get what you need. Trade-in bounty also going on still at Game Over Video Game stores. We've extended this now through the end of the year, through December 31st. So Nintendo 64s and GameCubes. Those are the consoles we need. We want them. We got to have them. They're in high demand, so we're paying more than ever for those things. So please bring them in if you have some extras you don't want. We're doing $80 for all the GameCubes, $80 for the black 64s, and if you have any of the cool colored 64 systems, those are $150. So definitely bring those into our stores, and those are like the guaranteed minimum cash prizes. It's a prize. You win. The cash amounts that we're paying out. You'll get more in-store credit, more if you have games and other stuff that you bring in too, but that's just for the basic working system, matching controller, and all the hookups. So check that out. That's through the end of this year. And that concludes the news section. So let's get on to our feature, where, like I said, this week we're taking this Super Nintendo that I hope this is visible in the shot here, but this is a Super Nintendo that we actually sold to somebody, and it was delivered to them like this a few weeks ago, and I showed it on the show, and, obviously we didn't do that. I didn't do that. It was wrapped in bubble wrap, and I just took a lot of the padding out of here, but it was wrapped really well. But I think just because of the age, they do get brittle, and so clearly it was dropped or banged around or something in the process, and that's what shattered the front end. But today for the feature, we're going to actually hook it up and see if it works, see if we can change out the shell or replace anything and get it going. So that's coming up next on our feature segment. So let's get right to that. Level 3, the feature. Let's go. All right, welcome back to the feature section. And now this is the part of the show where I normally do an interview or talk about something business related, or retro gaming related, but today we're going to do a repair video. And as you may or may not expect, maybe you think I'm an awesome technician. I don't know. But in case you have the correct assumption, it is that I've never repaired anything like this. So I think some people, especially employees, will think it's funny for me to be the one to try and do this. But what I'm going to try and do here is take this, what remains of the Super Nintendo that the post office just beat to shit, and I'm going to see if it works. And if it does work, if we can maybe find another Super Nintendo here, just another return, a broken one or something, but that has a good shell, and swap it out and get it to work and look nice again. So anyway, this will be a learning experience for all of us. So here it is. Here's the system. I think I can move this. We don't need to know all the other little plastic pieces that came off. I don't think there's any screws or anything that we need in here. So just to make it nice and clean on the desk, I'm just going to move that out of the way. Okay. So this is what we're working with here. So this looks kind of like a Super Nintendo you remember. At least maybe from this side it does. Oops. All right. So first, let me see if there's any wires or metal exposed that might kill or injure me if I touch them and plug it in. It looks like no. And this is not planned in advance in any way. I have not watched a single YouTube video on how to do this or anything. So this is truly going to be either horrible or awesome to watch. So I'm sorry for both, or you're welcome if it's awesome. So yeah, it doesn't look like really any of the circuit boards are broken or wires detached or anything. Even the controller port here that's clearly, just hanging there literally by the cable. The cable is still attached. So I don't think I'll die. I don't think, if I try. So let's plug it in and see what happens. All right. At least I don't have to worry about breaking it, right? All right. I should touch something to ground myself. What if I do a screwdriver? Ah! No, not really. Okay. let's turn on TV. Let's try this. We found this here. Dan really likes this one. Plock. Also a game that I've never played. So, and I love platformers, and apparently this is a pretty awesome one, but I've never played it. How was that possible? I don't know. I just never had it as a kid, I guess. All right, so we're gonna put this in here. Boom, and power it up.
Doesn't look like you can even select another input.
No, it's like it'll do it if the signal is coming. So it might just be the signal. Okay. It's like the cheater way to clean a Super Nintendo cartridge. You just kind of pull it in and out a couple times. No. Well, this is going to be a short video, I guess. I might need to get another TV. This is like a flat panel TV, which is probably not ideal either. All right, we found another TV. Yay! All right, so we're going to try that. So, who zip ties a power cable? Mercy.
Give me that.
Cut that, please. Oh, it's just like a little twisty thing.
Hey, guys!
Oh, my hero. Now, I think at this point, you're probably asking yourself, like, why didn't we do all this in advance? Well, moving on. Let's see if this TV works. Oh, it works. I don't believe it. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Who would have thought? Oh, there's still stuff in there. I don't know if you can hear that.
We can hear it.
Can you hear that? There's all kinds of pieces in there still. Oh, like that one, for example. Let's see how far we can get into this game here. This might turn into a Let's Play. Should I be normal or Child's Play?
You're not going to want to do normal on Plock.
Is normal hard?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No, I'll do normal. Come on.
Oh, all right.
Come on. I didn't need Child's Play. What I need is
Don't
to
say I
start.
didn't warn you.
What a fab day. Nice and quiet. Oh, that's my favorite kind of day. Okay, so this is like a world map. Creepy crab. No. How do I make this skip?
Can't skip the cutscenes.
This is my least favorite part of video games, is just waiting for the cutscenes. It's mostly a gripe against modern games, because retro, normally you can just push a button and skip stuff like this. I don't like to read.
The plot's very important.
There'll be trouble. I'm coming to get, well, oh well. Okay. All right, there's Plock. Let's go do stuff, Plock. Okay, Cotton Island. Okay. Okay, so we got jump and spin. Jump without a spin. Ooh, he shoots stuff. What is that, his hand?
Oh, yeah. And his legs, too. Go tap, 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 tap.
Holy monkeys.
I'm telling you, Plock is what's up.
Plock is pretty awesome. Okay, let's see what we can do with Plock. All right. Get some stuff there. That's good. Uh-oh, logs. Look out. Look out. Ooh.
You gotta throw your limbs at him.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. I guess you can't shoot a log. You should be able to. Why can't you shoot a log? Ooh. Got, all right. Do I grab on the flagpole? Okay, there we go. Hey,
Yeah,
this isn't my flag. No, that's somebody's underwear.
Good, you beat the first level of Plock.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we won't go too far into that, but that's pretty awesome. But anyway, the main thing is the Super Nintendo works. So against all odds. So yeah, let's see if we can just take the guts out of here, and then we'll look for a shell that we can put on there to reshell it. I just love that. Okay, so first let's take the screws off the bottom. Looks like we've got some of Nintendo's famous, what's this, 3.8-bit stuff here? Oh yeah. Some things might be stripped. Okay, well, we may just have to come back to that one. All right. Oh, it's just the
Plastic came off.
yeah, the plastic that the screw goes into is what broke off. So this may actually be a faster disassembly than I thought, because I might just have to just rip it apart. Actually, these middle ones I think are going to have to go, but all the outer ones look like they're just they're just shredded. Hey, look at that. All right. So one screw survived. Get some more little pieces of trash in there. So yeah, we just need to get it off of this bottom piece. Ah, there we go. Let's see. All right, one screw. So we're just going to work our way from one end to the other, and definitely keep track of your screws, as they say. Now, I'm sure there are people that have entire YouTube channels dedicated to taking apart classic consoles, and so if you want tips and tricks and guidance on how to do that, that's not me. But if you want to see just what an average guy would do for the first time ever taking apart a Super Nintendo, this is more or less what you would look like doing it. So, all right, are we free yet? Are we free yet? No. What is still screwed in? Oh, this one maybe. Okay. All right, cool. So let's set that over there. Okay. So then this comes out. Yay. That is loose. I think now it's just being difficult for no reason. You thought you could hold out, but no, I got you too. Okay, cool. So then we got that stuff. And that's just a shell. And there we go. Oh, I'm sure that's not important, that part. That is our old shell. You know when you put together an IKEA bookcase, and there's always like a couple extra screws in the bag or little weird doohickeys like this, and you just you pretend those things aren't there because you want your bookcase to be done, and you want to think that you didn't screw it up somehow. So I'm just gonna... I wonder if we can power it on just like this. Is that too risky?
You disconnected something. I wouldn't plug it in as is.
You don't think so? Am I gonna die?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, still works. So we could put this in anything now.
Put a Sega Genesis.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good idea. Should we try and put it in a different shell?
I don't think you'd be able to do
That's
that.
too much work for me because I don't know anything about this. Yeah, who would have thought that it still worked looking like this? And who really would have thought that it would still... Oh, I should unplug. All right, unplug. That it would still work even looking like this. But yeah, if you do anything like this at home, please make sure you don't plug it in. Or if you do plug it in, do not touch anything metal. Because I don't want to die, and I don't want any of you to die either. I don't want most of you to die. But anyway, yeah, so that concludes, I think, the disassembly part. No disassemble. Yes, disassemble, number 5. So yeah, this is a completely unassembled Super Nintendo. So now I'm going to go fish through our piles of defective stuff and returns and things like that. And I think we've got a couple Super Nintendos back there that somebody's brought back at some point in the store that we just have sitting around. And I'll try and find one with a good shell. And then when we come back, we'll try and put this into a nice looking shell. So we'll have a good working system in a nice looking shell and have a, ready to play Super Nintendo again. All right, now it's time for level 4, the boss battles. So this week, since we have our trusty Super Nintendo friend here, we're going to talk about shipping issues. So for any of you that have an online store, big or small, if you sell stuff online, occasionally something like this will happen. Your shipper is going to, break something in transit. Also, packages, can get lost. Customers sometimes actually get their package, but then just tell you it got lost or it never made it there. So, anytime you sell online, there's definitely a risk of something like that happening. There's not a whole lot you can do to prevent it. But a few tips you can use are, always pack it well, for one. Like with systems that we have, we normally wrap it in bubble wrap, put it in a box, pad around that with, paper and other things to pad it, tape it securely, keep it in the middle of the box so nothing is up against a wall of the box. And let's see. So pack well. Ship with tracking and insurance. Normally that's part of the deal if you do UPS or FedEx. But if you ship regular post office, it's a little extra charge to do that. Or like this one was shipped priority mail. But at least you have some tracking and insurance on it. It in this case may not be worth filing a claim, but I guess we could file a claim on that. Getting tracking on it is essential. Requiring a signature, when things are delivered, that's something you want to do for sure. A lot of times these days, shippers actually just leave stuff on the porch. And, I know this has happened to all of us, right? Like you order something online from Amazon, from anywhere. And, UPS, FedEx, whoever brings it by, they don't normally bring it up to your door anymore and knock and like hand it to you and get you to sign the little, pad device or whatever they have. They literally just throw it on your porch and leave. Sometimes they don't even knock. Sometimes it doesn't even go to the porch. I've heard people where they just drop it like by your mailbox and just keep on driving. It's really hard to get proof of delivery. And we actually had a separate issue recently where we had an order delivered, and it became like they said they didn't get it, like a fraud issue, or they were saying it didn't come, and we had proof that we shipped it. We had proof that UPS brought it by, but all they said for proof of delivery was that it was left on porch. And so essentially, there's no way we can prove they got it. There's no way they can prove that they did or didn't. And it's just like, in a situation like that, the customer always wins, right? So the business and, the owner of the product originally, they just lose out because of that type of stuff. And so shipping hassles definitely suck. But it's hard to get that proof of delivery. If you sell high dollar items, it's definitely recommended to not only get the tracking and insurance and stuff, but actually pay a few dollars extra to get a required signature, and that forces the delivery driver to actually go up and knock on the door and get someone to sign for the package. So that's good, little extra added insurance. Amazon got to the point they even have their own delivery now. They got tired of UPS and FedEx, and they do their own stuff now. And so if you tell Amazon you didn't get a package, they're like, no, our guys brought it out, so we know it was there. So anyway, definitely difficult to ship things. Try and protect yourself as best you can as a business owner or a shipper. Because even individuals selling stuff online on eBay or something, you have to protect yourself, because there are people out there that will scam you, and the shipping carriers will definitely, have not a lot of love for your package. They just throw it in their truck with everything else and throw it on somebody's porch and drive off. They don't really care about what it is or being careful. So anyway, also just in general, shipping fraud issues. Also, be aware of people that buy things from out of country, credit cards, addresses, billing and shipping addresses that don't match, things like that. So before you ship a package, make sure that you're either as an individual or your website or shipping system has some type of way to verify the address. Make sure it's a legit U.S. address, that the order came from a legit U.S. person and address. And if those names and addresses don't match, make sure that they're both vetted out. And normally we like to think that they're within 100 miles of each other. Because if you're ordering something, say in one state, and you ship it to a state, halfway across the country, there's at least a good chance there's some fraud involved there. Also, any orders going to, major border areas tend to have at least a higher rate of fraud. I know when we deal with some of the border areas of Texas, border areas of California, and also around the Miami area, there seems to be a lot of like international kind of credit card fraud that originates from those areas. And so if you're shipping a lot of orders there, definitely check them out just to make sure that the addresses are correct and that biller and shipper addresses match. So anyway, that's a lot of stuff you can do, little tips to protect yourself on selling stuff online and making sure that that you can verify your package made it to where it was supposed to go. So that's it for the boss battles for this week. And now we're going on to the bonus level with some fan feedback. Thank you, as always, for watching and listening to the show. And we got some cool comments over the past week, so I'm going to talk about some of those here. Compliments on the video. They liked the last episode of the show, so thank you, or you're welcome. Glad you like it. Let's see. One of the good questions from last week was, how do we choose our price points? That's a really good question, especially for a store like Game Over, where most of what we sell is old or vintage or unusual type things, and so there's not a lot of easy comparisons out there. So really good question there, especially on items that are rare or have no historical pricing data. Well, in general, we always try and stay competitive. I like to say we're probably never the cheapest place to buy a video game. We're definitely not the most expensive place to buy a video game. We try and stay in that sweet spot where we have prices that are high enough to justify us paying well for the trade-ins to buy the merchandise, but low enough that people, still find it reasonable to buy it from us on resale. And it's a tricky thing. We use reference points. We use other competitors that are similar to us. We use eBay. We use price charting. We use GameStop. Anybody, buying and selling similar products, we do, check those out from time to time. Make sure our prices are in line with that. And that we're, again, in somewhere in that meat, in the meat of the sandwich, in the sweet middle ground is what I was going to say, because that's where you want to be. If the prices are all too low, everything sells out, right, and the store is empty. If the price is too high, nothing will sell, and you go out of business. So we try and stay in that sweet middle ground where the prices are fair and reasonable, considering the retail overhead and stuff like that we have to deal with. So, it can be a challenge for sure. But anytime there's not substantial, eBay price charting, Google, reference points, as retro gamers and as people that have been in this industry, we try and do our best to make educated guesses on what things are worth. One-of-a-kind items might come in from time to time, and there's no historical data. It's not in price charting or eBay, and you just have to kind of, put yourself in the mind of a collector. Like, what would this be worth to somebody? What should we pay for this to bring it into the store to buy it? So there's no real right or wrong answer there. You just, as a business owner, or if you buy or sell games yourself, just you have to do the best you can to kind of approximate a fair price point. Let's see. More fan feedback. Do the employees find cool stuff in the wild and trade it in to the stores? Sometimes. Employees definitely trade stuff in from time to time. We don't pay them or encourage them to go out searching for stuff, but most of our employees are pretty into retro gaming, and so they occasionally find stuff and will trade it into the stores. That does happen from time to time. Where do the trade-ins come from? Again, it's just random people in the stores. Sometimes it's people that just need money. Sometimes it's people that have finished a game or a system and they're just never going to play it again. Sometimes it's parents or grandparents that are like cleaning house, getting rid of your old stuff that you left there, and your parents are tired of sitting on it and looking. They want that spare room empty. They want all your crap out of there, so they bring it to us and we buy it from them. They come from all over, and there's a lot of different reasons people sell stuff, and sell them specifically to a store like Game Over Videogames. It's a convenient, safe, easy way to unload old stuff, duplicate stuff, things you won't play anymore, and it's a safe environment. You can of course sell stuff on eBay, and then you have potential for stuff like this to happen, other fraud, circumstances. You can do on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and like meet somebody in a parking lot. That's always safe. And so, when you think about it, we may not pay the most for trade-ins, but like this is the cleanest, safest place that you can come in and just bring us a bucket full of anything video game related, and we'll buy it from you. There's no questions asked. It's not like, well, I want this, but not this. We'll buy it all. We'll buy everything. Games, consoles, accessories, guidebooks, collectibles, everything. And it's the easiest, safest way to get rid of your stuff. So we buy stuff all the time. It comes from everybody out there in the world. And it's all day, every day at every store. So the selection is different at every Game Over store. So it definitely pays if you live in a place where there are multiple Game Over Video Games locations, check them all out because the inventory is actually different at each one. And you may have a huge trade-in at one location that gives them a big influx of a certain type of game that other Game Over stores and other competitors just don't have. And so you really have to constantly check all the Game Over stores to see the full range of what comes in to our company daily. So they come from all over on trades. Do we ever supplement or shift things from store to store? Sure. Occasionally, we may have a huge trade at one store and break it up and send, some to a different store, some to a different store, just to kind of balance it out. And so the one store doesn't have to spend like a month cleaning and organizing and packaging all that stuff. So we do spread it around, but the inventory varies. That's the nature of the beast with a store like ours. That it's random stuff from random people all day, every day. It's different in every store, every city. Every time you come in, there should be different new things at a Game Over Video Games store. Let's see. Somebody talked about liking my idea for a Yar's Revenge movie. So thank you. I think that would be awesome. So yes, we'll talk to Howard Scott Warshaw and see if we can get him on board, and we'll make a movie. He said it reminded him of the old Vanguard commercials and Gradius on the NES. There's just something about the old 8-bit, 16-bit, the posters, the magazines, the commercials. It's just so nostalgic and just fun to look at and listen to and watch all that stuff. It just really takes you back. So I love that stuff too. Somebody else liked the comment last week about the PS2 HD cable fix, that if you have HDMI or high-res cables on a PS2, you actually have to go into the menu to set it to RGB mode before those cables will work sometimes. We were guilty too of going through a lot of cables where we thought, well, this cable's broken, it's defective, we'll send it back. But really, there was no need to. It's just the settings in the system. So if you're using a PS2 these days and you're using it on high-res TV, you're using HDMI cables, make sure you change your settings to the high-resolution output. So anyway, that covers all of our fan feedback. That's pretty much it for the show this week. So thank you to all of our fans. Thank you for your business and your support. We really appreciate you watching the show, listening on a podcast, sharing, commenting, subscribing to our YouTube channel, all that good social media stuff. Please continue. Please, comment, share the video, ask us questions for next time. I love that. It gives me things to talk about on the show. And it just shows that we have, engagement with the viewers to encourage us to keep doing this podcast. So I really want to continue. And so thank you for the comments. Keep them coming. I hope everybody has a great week, or week and a half, actually, because we'll be back with the next episode on Wednesday, the 25th. So it's going to be almost 2 weeks, actually. But we'll get the next episode out right before Thanksgiving. So you will have all the Black Friday sales info on Game Over Video Games sales. So you'll be ready to go. We're going to do online sales on Thanksgiving Day, and then we'll have Black Friday sales, Black Friday and then through that weekend. So we will give you the lowdown and all that on that episode. Plus, we'll come back to part 2 of the Super Nintendo disassembly, reassembly project and see if we can make this thing work in a new shell and body of another Super Nintendo. So look forward to that in the next show. Hope everybody has a great week. Stay safe out there. Play some video games. Try and relax a little bit because we know the holidays can be kind of stressful. So try and get some time for you in there too. Have a great week. Thanks for watching. Game over.
Hey, don't mix up your water and your rubbing alcohol there.
I know. I was just thinking that these look the exact same, and we filmed this early, so it might be like, oh, finally, the end of that episode. Oh.
By accident. Here, I'll mix up the bottles, and you drink one, and we'll play Russian roulette.
I guessed wrong. Ah. Okay. All right. Hang on.
Oh my God.